A good developmental edit is not just about feedback, opinion, vibes of the story. It's about sound structural feedback based on your writing and the marketability of your book. So for me, I break that down into 4 different parts when it comes to doing a dev edit with a client. The first part is the macro structure. So this is really the spine of your story. This is starting to look at your story's architecture. Are you escalating at the right places? Do you have the right turning points? Are there, is there strength in the middle? Is there emotional payoff at the end for our characters? And for me, this isn't tied to one formula. I like to use the 3-act structure when reading to think about also film to TV adaptation. Save the Cat has great recommendations for pacing and structure of books as well. It's an amazing resource for authors if they're doing it. And then just your common word count and other factors that readers are expecting when it comes to reader experience and pacing of the book. So that's part 1. It's the macro structure. It's telling me just in the beginning, is your story delivering on the premise? Is it delivering on the payoff? Is it there with the pacing and the reward for the reader when they get to the end of the story? The second part that I analyze is really the engine of your book. These are your character arcs. So in every scene, are your characters' journeys moving forward? Are there scenes that feel repetitive where the characters are not overcoming something or being held back by something? Are they having the same motivations throughout the story? Do they have driving factors? And what is it about the characters that they're going through that create this meaningful change? And a simple rule of thumb is that for the best reader satisfaction and the best book is we want our characters to take a total turn in their life. So if they start off sad and heartbroken, they end up happy and no longer heartbroken. We want to see our characters take emotional journeys where they end up in, for lack of better terms, the opposite place of where they started, regardless of where that is. And there's lots of different ways you can get there, and it doesn't always have to be a happy ending by any means, but for those characters to have that full arc, the internal conflict needs to feel authentic. Their motivations need to be real, and they need to take a full journey where we see them in a different place where they ended up. The third thing I look at, part 3, is the scene level purpose and pacing. So is this scene either moving the plot forward, deepening our characters, increasing tension, shifting power, or revealing new information? Now, if it doesn't hit one of those 5 things, then perhaps the scene is not necessary, or it needs to be written, or it can be combined with another scene. So especially when it comes to pacing and chapter structures, we don't want to see chapters that are too short or too long because, again, the reader experience is somewhere between 2,500 and 4,000 words. And when readers read scenes, we want to feel like it is moving one of those 5 things forward. So again, part 3 is just that scene level purpose, the rhythm, the pacing, and moving the plot, the characters, the information, something in the story forward. The fourth part that I check in a developmental edit is the POV, the cohesion, and the reader experience. So is the POV consistent? Are the emotional threads carried all the way through? And does that ending pay off on the opening promise of the book? And how is the reader experiencing this? And again, readers experience great novels through things like chapter structure and pacing, emotional payoff, character arcs and journeys, and cohesion throughout the story. So we don't want big switch ups with our characters' motivation or internal conflicts. We don't want payoff too soon or too late. And that's all comes down to reader experience, POV, consistency, and having that emotional payoff and that proper pacing throughout your story. Again, developmental editing, it's not just vibes, it's structured. It's these 4 parts that I'm always looking at to strengthen your story. And it is exactly what can turn a book from a draft manuscript into shelf ready.